think what got me into photography, it was just going back to that fact that I think it was the love of family, the love of being sentimental, and once you've got that camera in your hand and you've taken your first photograph, you have a kind of control over what you're doing. And to see the results, I think it was so exciting. As I say, the first time that I ever saw my photographs back that I'd taken, they were personal to me, and being a sort of creative person, my background is I'm a storyteller. I've been in theatre work for most of my life, so being able to be creative in a way that you can see on celluloid or on film, it was just a way of presenting my work to other people. And when I got the compliments as a little boy saying, "Oh, you're a good photographer," I think that's kind of like spurred me on to carry on, and I found that I was good at something. I think one of the things that I loved about photography was just taking moments in your life. As a child or as a young man, a teenager, you don't always realise this, but you are capturing your life in just a split second. I always have very vivid dreams, so I like giving my photography a like dream-like quality. This comes from my love of Salvador Dali, who painted a lot of his dreams, so I would try and do that again with my photography. I don't know if you can make up on the camera there, but there's the figure of Jesus in the background, which I had this portrait of Jesus, a painting, suspended from the ceiling, so it was actually floating in midair, and then I offset it with a candle on a tripod in front of the image, and it's got the light of the candle, which is real, a real candlelight, but on the photograph, out of focus with a short depth of field, you can see the aura of the light around Jesus, and it just gives us this kind of holy quality, but also an ethereal kind of quality. So I think photography is marvellous in that, where you can use tricks, of course, but doing it yourself, I think it's more rewarding. These days you can do a lot of effects on your mobile phone, but it's much more fun back then to do it yourself, like DIY. The first photo that I can remember taking was in Tintern Abbey, which is in South Wales, and it was about sort of 1973, so I was around about 9, and we were on a family trip. My dad passed me this camera, which was a bit like a Brownie, it was something like that, but it was my brother and my mum and dad with the Abbey itself in the background. And what I can remember clearly, waiting 2 weeks later after I'd taken the snap, the click, looking through the viewfinder, when it finally came back and we looked at the album, I'd not only got them composed just right, but it was also what I found out later in life, I got them on third, so I was a natural photographer, if you like, and I was always fascinated by photographs. Yeah, a little bit later, after I'd done sort of my own developing in school, that was when I was about 10 or 12. I was obviously borrowing cameras at the time, but my first ever proper kind of professional camera, if you like, was called the Zenith EM, which is a Russian camera. And what was beautiful about this piece of equipment is that it came in a leather case. It was a very sturdy camera, and Zenith meant it was supposed to be at the top of its game. And when my dad took me to Newport to look at the photography shops, I was always fascinated by the multicoloured, sort of iridescent quality of all the colours reflected off the lenses, so I always got really excited. And it was very much a sort of wind, clunky kind of action to it. but it was sturdy and it just felt nice, you know, the cold metal in your hands, and produced really good quality. So the Zenith EM was my very first camera, and I used that for probably about, I would say, 5 or 6 years.